from there. Got it. Okay. Again, thank you all so much for making the time to join us for our first ever team captain kickoff this evening. We have two special guests, as you may have heard, from Susan G. Komen joining us tonight. And so to kick things off, it's my pleasure to introduce Stephanie Mayer. She is the 3-day specialist at Susan G. Komen and works directly with Stephanie Myers, whom you all probably know, who is the National Development Director on the 3-day project. And this Stephanie Mayer, she's a former 3-day coach. So some of you may know her from being the main coach for Twin Cities a few years ago. And so Stephanie, I want to throw it over to you to welcome our awesome team captains.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Stacy. Can you guys hear me okay?
It's a little, talk a little more. I think it's okay.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Well, thank you everyone for joining this call. I want to first take this opportunity to thank all of you for stepping up to the plate to be a team captain this year. One of the greatest benefits, I think, of being on a team is the camaraderie that you will develop as you train and fundraise together and then walk the event itself. It's really just so much fun. Your experience will become so much more meaningful, and it will definitely help those miles pass by a lot faster. Not to mention the laughter and the stories you are all going to share will really be memories that last a lifetime. So again, thank you so much for joining us this year. It is now my pleasure, actually, to introduce all of you to a very special guest who's joining us tonight. She's going to be talking to you about just one of the ways that Komen and your fundraising supports the breast cancer community. Mari Montesano is joining us from Komen's Helpline, where she serves as a clinical supervisor. The helpline is available to breast cancer patients, their loved ones, healthcare providers, support professionals, and all others seeking breast health information. Mari has served as a licensed clinical social worker focusing on oncological care. That's a mouthful. And she manages a team of Komen Helpline specialists. She's here tonight to share a few stories of impact and how the work you're doing is making a real difference in the lives of those we serve who need help today. Mari?
Hi, thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, everyone, for having me here tonight. I'm definitely very grateful to work for such an amazing organization that just reaches so wide in their support. And it's just so amazing what you guys are all doing. It's a lot of walking, and a lot of raising money, so that's amazing. So like Stephanie mentioned, I work within the mission department in the patient care center, and I'm one of the clinical supervisors for the helpline. The helpline is sort of the main hub to really connect all the individuals that call to each patient care center department. So those departments include the helpline, Komen Financial Assistance Program that really helps connect individuals to financial assistance while they're going through active treatment. So it really helps, help pay rent or transportation or for food. And then we also help refer to our patient navigation program that really aims to eliminate barriers for individuals that are seeking care for breast screening or breast cancer. Those navigators are amazing at, helping connect people to local resources and support. And then we also help with screening and diagnostic referrals that help. This program is amazing. It's in certain areas right now, but hopefully we're spreading further. But they really help connect individuals that don't qualify for, state screening programs, or they're uninsured or underinsured and don't fit in certain requirements. They really help individuals get the screening that they deserve to have. So the helpline, the patient navigation, Komen financial assistance, and screening diagnostics all really work together to support individuals in their journey with breast cancer or breast health. So it's a pretty amazing team. And just in my short time, so I've only worked with Komen for just over 3 months now, so still not long, but it's been amazing. And I've actually gotten to speak with a lot of people that this program has helped, and So I'll share, I have two stories for you. One was a young single mother. She's in her mid-20s. She called the helpline back in January with a brand new diagnosis and a treatment plan, you know, kind of getting her right started in chemo and surgery. And one of our helpline specialists was able to take the time, provide support, and listen to her and really figure out what she, you know, really needed. Hopefully you can still hear me.
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay. She we were able to get her connected to both our Komen Financial Assistance Program and a patient navigator who actually helped connect her to local food and housing resources and some local support groups to help kind of with the emotional support of going through treatment alone. And I was actually able to speak with her this past week, and what she said to me was, quote, "Now I don't have to be alone in this journey, and you have no idea how much it means to me to be able to provide for my son. Thank you for granting us such a blessing." So I feel like that really speaks to what you guys are doing in raising money to help these programs, to help these individuals really get through treatment and be able to access the treatment they need. Another story, I spoke with another lady this week. She was referred to me by one of our helpline specialists. She was recently diagnosed and reported she was very overwhelmed and just didn't really know what to do or where to go. So we were again able to connect her to the Komen Financial Assistance Program and also a patient navigator for just support in finding housing, new housing, transportation, and different financial resources. But she mentioned during the call that she lives in New York in a New York apartment building, and she's lived there for over 26 years. And she no longer has the support in the apartment building that she once had because a lot of the people that live there either died from COVID or have moved. And so she doesn't have that support anymore locally for her. And when she heard what Komen could offer her and the support of, you know, some financial support and then also a patient navigator, she, you know, just said to me, she's like, it just feels so nice to have someone rooting me on through this journey and making me feel not alone. So again, I hope those speak to you guys. I know they speak to us when we get the feedback. And it's nice to know that we're trying to help a little by little each call we take. But I want you guys to know how much you guys are doing for these people going through their cancer journeys and how much support and help you are really bringing them. So thank you.
Thank you so much for the important work that you do and for making the time to be here and share this information with these community leaders. And so I want to touch upon some more important reasons why we must meet our fundraising goals. And I'm going to be sharing those goals with you in just a moment here. Currently, Komen funding allows for more than 130 active research grants in 25 states and 5 countries and totals over $100 million. More than 70 Komen-supported research labs are actively studying metastatic breast cancer to understand why it occurs and how to treat or prevent it. And Komen, through a collaborative effort with the Inflammatory Breast Cancer Research Foundation and the Milburn Foundation, helped to develop a first-of-its-kind tool that may be able to help doctors better diagnose inflammatory breast cancer, IBC. And this tool will enable researchers to study the biology of IBC and make discoveries to advance progress toward personalized care for all breast cancer patients. And as she just demonstrated from the stories she shared, 97% of surveyed patients supported by Komen's treatment assistance program reported that the assistance improved their quality of life. And almost 70% of surveyed helpline callers said they were able to access care faster. And you can imagine how important that is. So the funds that we raise are vital in funding Komen's mission to save lives by meeting the most critical needs in our communities and investing in breakthrough research to prevent and cure breast cancer. We at the 3-Day are part of something big, something that's touching the lives of thousands of people, and our part matters so much. So Thank you again. And I'm going to go back up to the importance of 3-day teams. And the fact is that you guys help make our job easier. You make sure your teams are inspired, committed, energized, engaged, and excited. And you make sure your teammates show up on event having trained, hopefully, and raise the required funds. So again, thank you for taking the time tonight. One of the big objectives for this meeting is to share with you and impress upon you the critical importance of teams in the overall success of meeting the 3-day fundraising goals. So raising funds to help Komen fulfill the mission of saving lives and ending breast cancer is the reason for the 3-day. I know you all know that. And teams carry the largest opportunity and therefore the greatest responsibility for helping to achieve those fundraising goals. And I'm going to share a lot of kind of behind the curtain information with you so that you can really appreciate this. But first, I'd like to invite 3 team captains to introduce themselves briefly and share one word that best describes their team or the idea and experience that is being on a team. So let me call on, not to put anybody on the spot, but Kathleen, would you like to come off of mute and just briefly introduce yourself, the name of your team, and one word that describes a 3-day team experience?
Hey everybody, I'm Kathleen Butler from Arlington, Virginia. I'm the captain of the Dallas-Fort Worth Team Girlapalooza, although we have other captains in other cities. One word, gee whiz. I would say probably compassionate towards one another, towards our friends and family, and towards people they don't know.
Fantastic. My next choice, I'm going to pick Pamela, Pam B, Chicago area. Willing to come off of mute?
Did you say Pam B as in boy?
Yes. Yes.
Like Bradley?
Yes, that's it. I was a secret about you.
I'm from a very small town in Illinois, Williamsville, and we are the Pink Ninja team. I would say our word would be strength.
Nice. Okay, and how about you, Shirley? Will you come off of mute and give us a word that describes the 3-day team experience or the feeling that you get? I know Shirley's here. I saw her earlier.
Acceptance.
Acceptance. Love it. That's awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you guys so much. We're going to revisit those words and sentiments here in a few minutes. But I think this is, the magic of the 3-day. And I would encourage all of the rest of you team captains to go ahead and put your word in the chat, because I think it will be cool for you to all see. I didn't hear anyone say, blister or, 60 miles or a challenge or any of those things. It's really a much bigger comprehensive feeling and family. And I think that's really cool. And I think the point is that we can and do make an important difference in this world while also building all these lasting relationships and just enhancing our own lives. So here it is. We're going to go to the next slide and see the fundraising goal for the 4-city 3-day series this year is $12.6 million. So this isn't ambitious, I think we can agree, but it's an achievable goal. In fact, last year, this incredible community raised $12.5 million, so we'll reach a bit higher. It's a goal that's going to require a lot of dedication from a lot of individuals, kind of starting with this group here tonight. And it's a goal that's going to have a tremendous impact, as we just heard. We recognize that being a team captain requires you to give extra time and energy, but we also know that you're up for the challenge. You truly are partners with Komen in driving the momentum toward funding the mission. You play a lot of critical roles. You're the communicator, the planner, the cheerleader, the accountant, the glue, so much more. And you're leaders in the community. You set the tone with your team members for the rest of their 3-day journey. And you know, this goal is just something that's going to require us all to pull together. I want to share some more information with you about a team's impact on the 3-day. And I think these will be some interesting numbers for you guys. So this is how important our team building actions can and will be. So as of this week, we have 4,786 registered 3-day walkers. This excludes crew and 20-mile walkers, okay? 68% are on a team. There are, across all 4 cities, 743 teams. The smallest teams have just 1 person. The largest 3 teams are 51 currently, with Hands Up for Hooters in San Diego. And Pink Souls in Motion has the most team members in Dallas-Fort Worth with 46, and also with 24 team members in Chicago. But the average team size is 6 team members. So as of this week, we have 1,520 individual solo walkers. And we know from our data that collected over the years that participants on teams are 3.5 times more likely to follow through on fundraising and training and show up on the event. So 3.5 times more likely to have this experience and truly become a part of this family. And so there's just a huge opportunity here. The other thing that I want you to know is that we know that participants on teams raise on average 11% more than those who aren't on teams. So we have 1,520 opportunities here to kind of increase our impact. So let's talk about what teams give to team members, right? With you as team captains, you can encourage and empower them to not only meet, but exceed their goals. And reflecting back on those key words, compassion, strength, acceptance, we know that when you recruit a new first-time walker, or you add a solo individual onto a team, you're inviting them to be part of something really special and potentially long-lasting. So while not every one of those 1,520 solo walkers might be interested in joining a team, many of them very well will be. And we know that they have a lot to gain. The collective impact that teams have is something we just want you to feel really proud of sharing, and proud of in general. When people have shared goals and a common passion, really great things happen. So teams and team activities provide opportunities for reliable and consistent interactions. Like every Saturday we train together, or every fall we have this big fundraising event, or every day I can check in with my team on our Facebook group. So it's those connection points that strengthen the whole relationship. Teams also have the advantage of sharing responsibilities for planning, tapping into the distinct skills of each team member, and that can really empower each person to reach for their maximum impact. So again, I think you can all appreciate what an incredible opportunity there is, not only to maximize fundraising with those participants who are already registered, but to increase fundraising and enhance someone's life experience by bringing more new uninitiated walkers on board. So here is another surprise for you, and you'll all get an email about this tomorrow, but we are announcing the 2022 referral program. And it's varied from year to year. When designing this year's plan, rather than giving a thing or an enhanced on-event experience like we've done in the past, we did zero in on fundraising. So again, the referral program will launch tomorrow, April 6th. New walkers must be registered by April 30th in order to qualify for this program. We're giving you a sneak peek into an upcoming registration promotion, which also launches tomorrow. The referral program will launch with our spring flash sale, April 6th through April 8th. So we've got 3 days to take advantage of a $40 registration fee. The promo code is the word FLASH, all in caps. And again, emails will go out about all of this tomorrow. And just for those of you who are curious, the referral offer is retroactive for anyone that referred someone prior to April 6th, if they, contact us and let us know who you recruited. So here's the fine print. Okay. Your new walker, defined as someone who has not participated in the 3 days from 2003 through 2021. So truly a new first time 3-day walker, must walk all 3 days or raise $2,300. They register between April 6th through 30th and use your referral ID number. They then need to raise $500 by June 30th. Okay, so they have 3 months to raise their funds nearly. And then you will receive a $100 fundraising credit. So the fundraising credit gets added to your 3-day fundraising account the month after your new walker reaches that milestone, that $500 milestone. So if they pass 500 in April, you receive the credit in May. If they pass 500 in May, you receive the credit in June. And they must raise it by June 30th. So the last round of credits will go out in July. So if you're registered for multiple 3-day events, we put the credit in the account for your first event. Again, this is a lot of fine print. It will be communicated tomorrow. I think the last thing to know is that only one $100 fundraising credit will be awarded per participant. But here's what I really want you to know is that we set this $500 fundraising amount because we know that participants who raise at least $500 are much more likely to follow through and fundraise the full $2,300 and be able to experience the magic of the 3-day. So that's
Stacey.
Yes.
This is Coach Molly. I just want to just a quick correction. Actually have until April 11th for the flash sale.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yep.
All right. All right, and that's all in the email again that will go out tomorrow. So lots and lots of details, but it's kind of cool. It gives you guys a little sneak peek. That's all launching tomorrow. So tonight you can start to think, who might I want to recruit? And so obviously we're all about growing our teams. New walkers are what we're talking about with the referral program, but there's a lot of ways to just grow your teams in general. And we know many of you are pros at this, but I do think it's worth me just listing out a few of the most obvious and easiest ways to bring people into the pink bubble. So asking family, friends, and coworkers, tapping former team members who haven't walked in a while, asking members of your church, people you know from youth sports teams, the neighbors that see you out walking all the time. I'll give a little plug for the Training Walk Leader program. Lots of connections happen on training walks, and it's just another really great way to draw people into your circle. Anybody on the call like to add an idea to this list? Options for recruiting?
Or Facebook friends.
Awesome. Perfect. Anything else? All right. Well, hopefully the wheels are turning and you can be thinking about who you might want to make sure you extend the flash sale $40 registration. It's a really good deal. So okay, so we are committed to helping you guys and providing the utmost in support for you to be able to grow and guide your team this year and beyond. So I want to just make sure you're all familiar with the ways that we're going to be able to help you do that. The 3-day friend finder, perhaps this is our most underutilized tool that we have, because it's not just a tool for walkers to find participants who live near them for training. In fact, it is a great way for team captains to promote and grow their own team. So I would recommend you first beef up your team profile in the participant center so that when someone goes to your team page, they can hopefully see a picture and learn a little bit about the team. And then personalize the About Me section for your own personal profile within the Friend Finder. And now then you're ready to use it to reach out to solo walkers near you. If your team's spread out, encourage each team member to do the same. It's kind of like a big spider web that we can kind of reach as many people as possible to join teams. And we know these person-to-person connections will always pay off and enhance the pre-event experience for anyone who gets connected as well. The 3-day city-specific Facebook groups, please invite and encourage your current team members to join the city-specific groups so they can interact and just be a part of the discussions that are happening there. They can take advantage of learning something, they can take advantage of sharing things they've learned, and just build the community pre-event that way. Every now and then as a team captain, you might consider posting a join our team message out to the 3-day community. This can be an all call for participants in your area or for participants far and wide. And I've noticed already in the San Diego group, when a solo walker poses a question, usually there's a very welcoming team captain inviting them to join their team. And I'm looking at you, Team Girlapalooza. So thank you for that. And the 3-day mobile app is a fantastic tool too. So you can use this. There's preset messages to help you recruit. You can actually communicate with your team members directly via email or text through the app. You can see team and individual fundraising progress, and it really makes it easy for you to provide timely encouragement when someone hits their goal or you see they jump up in fundraising. So I'm curious, have any of you been using the app to communicate with teammates yet? Found that to be helpful? Not yet. Well, give it a try. Definitely, it's a really great tool, and hopefully, because your phone is usually in your hand, it will make it easier and more accessible to engage. And with the fun training challenges and opportunities to learn more about Komen also built in, the app's just a really great resource all around, something definitely you should encourage your team members to download and use.
Hi, Stacey.
We have some people in the, sorry, we do have people in the comments who are also saying Susan Harvey says she uses it all the time to communicate with the team as a whole and individually. So I think, yeah, and Pamela's saying the app lets our team members track how much they've raised. So it's there's a little competition going on. And then I'll turn it over to Kathy, but I just wanted to make sure you knew.
Awesome. Thank you.
Some of that happened.
Thanks.
Yeah. Hi, Kathy Rob Hines from Rob's Ralliers out of Minneapolis. I have used it in the past for a variety of reasons, sometimes tied to our travel plans, oftentimes just to give updates on different things that might be happening to our team members. So at times we've had family members that have been sick or, other challenges that are going on. And so we use that app just as our way to stay connected.
That's cool. It sounds like a group chat. I mean, it basically is a group chat. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Well, thank you. Thank you, guys. I don't want to miss out on pointing out that the 3-day coaches are always here for you. Tesha's on the kind of the backdrop tonight, managing the technology. But I think Coach Heather is here. Heather, do you want to say hi?
Hi, everybody. I'm just watching you and listening and taking it all in, but we're so glad you're here.
Great. And we have our new coach for Dallas-Fort Worth, which is Sarah. And I saw Sarah was on earlier. Sarah, do you want to just say a quick hello?
Hi, everyone.
Excellent. So as your coaches, we can help make email introductions. We can look at participants by state. We can provide you with lists larger than the Friend Finder, which I think is limited to 25. So, when you give us the green light by indicating that your team is open to accepting new members, we can help steer walkers your way. We're contacted regularly, and especially as the season progresses, by individuals that are looking for a team to join. So we want to help you in that way too, and we can kind of approach it from both angles. We're also going to begin featuring open teams in our 3-day monthly news beginning next month in May. So please always reach out if you have an idea or think of a way that your coach can help you grow your team or kind of target in on a select group of participants that may be near you. And then of course the referral program, strategize with your currently registered team members, have them help with the recruitment so more people on your team can earn the $100 fundraising credit. And you know that the person you refer will get the gift of participating in the 3-day and being part of your team. And again, by setting that $500 fundraising deadline of June 30th, we're ensuring that the person you recruit gets started with their fundraising and is with you on event. So again, remember, there's 2 main drivers to participants showing up on event: getting their first donation within the first 30 days after registration, and fundraising $500. So we want it also to be fun and as exciting as possible. So thinking somewhat outside the box, we'd really like to explore some ideas for fundraising incentives and fundraising challenges and team engagement. So we'd like your input on creative, fun ways in which we can inspire and motivate, encourage, excite your team to participate in these fundraising challenges or team engagement challenges. So please jump in or add your suggestions to the chat, or if you think of something later, email it to your coach. But we'd love to hear what sort of rewards or prizes you think would motivate team members. And I think an example that Molly had was, new badges that appear on the participant fundraising page. So I don't know if anything comes to mind sort of off the cuff here, but
I have one that I'll throw out here. So I'm Sally Dunbar with Hands Up for Hooters. So Hooters, we're owls. That's our theme. The thing that I do whenever any of our walkers, as soon as they hit their $2,300, is I scour all the, Claire's and the junk jewelry stores, and I get little, sometimes they're as little as $3 and $4 or maybe $5 or sometimes if it's really nice, I might spend $10, but I get these little owl necklaces, and they get an owl necklace or maybe earrings when they've reached their goal. And I'll tell you what, people wear those all the time. And I think more than I don't pay any attention, honestly, to the badges on I don't pay attention to that, and pins are great, but we end up getting a lot of pins, but I think little earrings or necklaces, even if it's the breast cancer swoop, people love bling.
That's cool. I mean, a team specific shout out and prize in that case is really a good idea for sure. I mean, that immediate recognition is just like when a donor gives a donation, right? The immediate recognition is just super important and cool. Anybody else have a suggestion? Well, think about it, because we really do want it to be fun. And we've learned, I think, through the fundraising challenges that when that challenge is out there, it does inspire people to move the needle and get their fundraising started. And so we want to do more but different things, and would just love your input as you think of things.
So you see, Pamela Bradley put in the comments that she texts out a workout challenge every Monday, and then the team has to send her a picture of them working out, which is a cute idea too.
That is super cute.
Yeah, and then Diane Carr said maybe that team is the leader for the day to start the day if they raise a certain dollar amount, or a team flag is given to them. And I am these ideas, Diane, so keep them coming.
Yeah, that's awesome.
This is Elaine Simpson. I have a very small team of just 3 of us, but if there were gift or reward or incentives that people picked up at the 3-day, if folks are coming any distance and something gets mailed to them from Komen, and then they have to try to get it back in their suitcase or whatever. So, I don't know, door decorations or things that we can have in the hotel, but we don't have to transport it there. It'll be there waiting for us. So that's a part of the incentive for me.
That's a great idea. Love that.
Stacy.
Yes.
Hi, Sharon Sleseric. I'm from Friends with Heart.
Yeah.
So my team is a little bit
crazy, lovable, but crazy. We set goals or challenge each other to do things like post a picture training, hit a certain goal, have information on sizes or whatever. And if you don't meet that goal, we fine each other $5 and it goes to the lowest person on the team. So if you're at goal and it's just a kind of way to we're all kind of contributing. It's nothing that's going to break people if people have a little bit more, but we'll find somebody 5 or 10. They're like, okay, everybody's page has to be done by this date. And as captain, I'll go through and I'm like, okay, I have this number of people. Who needs money? And the first people who say, give it to me, gets that $5 from the people who didn't do their page. So it kind of keeps the information, and it's just a fun way that we kind of help each other out with fundraising and keep that little craziness that is our team.
And hold each other accountable, which I think it's a huge part of what you guys do, right? You're constantly making sure, like the mother duck, making sure that everybody's like doing.
Yeah, and nobody really, you get a little bit of joking if you don't pay your fine, but if you really can't pay your fine, nobody really yells at you.
Right.
Well, okay, my daughter does, but she gets away with it, but.
Right. One of the things that I think we had come up with was a reward or a prize for the team with the number of team members with an active Facebook fundraiser. Again, because we know from our data that is such an effective way for people to fundraise. It's not for everyone, but it is for a lot of people. And the people who use it do seem to be really successful with it. So, another thing, like if everyone on the team gets one donation in the next 24 hours, everyone earns a, fill in the blank. So keep thinking on it and send us your ideas, because lots of heads together is way better than just a few. So we'd really value your input.
Stacey, I think a fun challenge would be, because I always think it's the new walkers that you want. You want the new, getting the old walkers to come back is great, but the new walkers is what you want. So some kind of a challenge to the team that recruits the most amount of new walkers in a week or in a month, or certainly over the year, whatever team brings the most number of new walkers to the walk. I think that's a missed opportunity that we're not capitalizing on, because we all love challenges.
Yes.
I appreciate, this is Elaine Stevenson again, and I appreciate that suggestion. That's really awesome. But I have a team of 3 people, and I cannot compete with a team of 45 people
maybe
in terms of reaching out.
Maybe
that would be better. I like that. A percentage in relationship to your size. That'd be great. That feels level field.
Another great incentive would be free parking at the hotels. Just throwing that out there.
All ideas are good ideas. So I'm taking notes here.
And Stacey, sorry, this is Coach Molly again. I want to chime in, although this is kind of a little bit of a sidebar off of kind of sharing new suggestions, but hopefully you all saw that, we've just sent out emails about the Bank of America fundraising challenge that they have going on right now. And that's a great way to engage your team to kind of go for those things that are out there already. So, for participants who have at least $1,000 in their fundraising account, by May 2nd, they'll get both a hat and a pin in the mail, the May-June timeframe. And again, like if somebody already has that money in their account, then they were notified that they've already earned that. But that's a good thing for you guys to use as an additional carrot to dangle in front of your team participants as well.
Excellent.
I had a quick suggestion. This is Lindsay from Tata's from KC. If there was some sort of, I don't know what our fundraising challenge would be for a team, but if the incentive was like a 3-day shirt with their team name, or even like their team member's name on them, maybe just the team name, maybe not actual names of people, because that would be easier to print, just the name. But like people always love having something with their team name on it, and that would be a good incentive to get people on their team. Like, hey, we need you to get this. We really want to get this shirt or whatever.
Cool. Yes. and useful.
Could it be a reserved table at camp for dinner?
Love it.
That one wouldn't cost anything.
No, that's great. I mean, you know, the enhanced on-event experience is, I think that's a really great, there's a big reservoir there, right? And I think that would be another place where you guys could really provide some valuable ideas, because, you know, the event is already so super fantastic, but things like that would just make it that much more. And like you said, it doesn't cost anything, or many times won't cost a lot. And so, yeah, keep those on-event enhanced experience kind of ideas coming along too.
Stacy, I don't know if you saw, somebody put in the chat, and it would be San Diego, definitely, but chairs outside of the tent. I mean, because getting dressed in the morning, and I know it was very wet for a lot of people, just with the mist from the ocean, having a place to sit, to put your shoes on or stretch out really would make a difference too. And again, you guys order chairs, it wouldn't be that much.
Yeah. Yes, our grass is usually wet.
Yes. So being able to pick your feet up or not get your butt wet while you put your shoes on, it would be great for our San Diego people.
Cool. Excellent. Well, I'm excited to read the full chat tomorrow. I'm sorry, I'm just like not able to fully engage on that right now, but it sounds like Molly's on top of it. So, so please, yeah, continue to add to the chat. We're gonna take a poll here in a moment, but I just want to kind of talk about additional next steps. And, you know, so I guess our point is to try to make a plan that you can commit to, maybe set a recruitment goal, whether it's increase your team size by 10% or double it, or, you know, whatever seems like a realistic, but a reach. And then set a fundraising goal, and knowing that people on teams raise 11% more, you know, you don't want to say 2,300 times 4, you want to say 2,300 times 4 plus 11%. So make a list of, you know, people you're willing to reach out to, ask them to join your team, let them know about the flash sale. And then again, ask your current team members to do the same. You will get some team members, some new team members from that effort. You might not get everyone who was asked, but you will get new team members. And, you know, that just helps grow the Pink Bubble. Download the app. Yes.
Stacey, I want to just throw in a thank you that you made this whole point about how new walkers who have already, okay, I always tell my team, I don't want you recruiting from members that are already walking. I mean, it isn't about having the most amount of dollars that we've raised. It's about new money coming in. So I've always told them, don't recruit on the thing. I don't want that. I want your new friends. But you've given me a different vision about it when you're talking about how they will raise 11% more and they're 3.5 times more likely to, you know, to complete their fundraising and to actually do it. And I just really appreciate that you brought that out, because I'm going to tell them all, start recruiting.
Yeah.
Get the current walkers.
It's such good, you know, with every donation ask, it's an awareness raising, you know, exercise as well. So I just think there's no harm in any of that. And so the more people we can recruit, the more new potential donors can be touched, the more we raise awareness. And so it's all good all the way around. So we want you guys to just tell us how we can support you. Use the chat, email us later, but please just share how we and the entire Komen team can best support you this year. If there are resources you feel you need, you know, pie in the sky, put it out there. We will see what's possible. And, you know, if our presence, a coach presence on a team call would be helpful, that kind of thing, let us know. We're just gonna put everything on the table. And I think right now what I'd like to do is have Tesha launch the poll to see if you guys think a follow-up call, would it be worth regrouping as team captains and coaches, and, a month, 2 months, something like that, just to kind of revisit where we are and what's working for people who are trying new things. So
our poll is up. We've got right now 43% of people have answered. So it's rising quickly here, 58%. Give it another minute or so for people to decide. This is much easier than this or that. It's not like, Peeps or Cadbury eggs. Like you actually get to, it's just a yes, no. All right, 84%.
I have a quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
My name is Stephanie, and I'm a new captain to the 3-day. And when you're asking about a follow-up call, I have like logistic questions about how the whole thing works. Is there another call that information will be provided?
there is. We are having our second, it's basically 3-day 101 info meeting. Will take place next Tuesday, April 12th. And what's your, what we'll do is we'll RSVP you to it, because if you're not able to attend, that will at least make sure that you are sent the recording after the fact.
Okay, that'd be great.
Yeah,
we're doing Boston. I think there's some unique aspects to that.
Yes.
And we're former Avon walkers, so have some idea about how some of this goes, but obviously there's specific stuff to this event. So I just wanted to get a little more clarity for my team.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. Yes, disseminator of information. And
Susie, I added a link to the info meeting in the chat. So if anyone here is curious and can access that, they can go ahead and click on that and RSVP to it as well.
Okay, perfect. And like I said, we'll record it just as we're recording tonight's meeting. So they can go back and listen if they're not able to attend in person. All right.
Wonderful.
You bet. So again, just as we started this call, I want to end by acknowledging the huge role that you play in the overall success of the Susan G. Komen 3-day project. Thanks to you, participants on teams are more successful with fundraising, more prepared in their training, and more likely to show up on events. So we just appreciate the added time you take out of your personal life, the extra responsibilities you shoulder to fill this important role. And obviously we could not do this without you. So we're very grateful. And thank you so much again for taking the time tonight. Looks like we do have a few minutes left, so we would like to address any questions or continue the discussion. Please drop your questions in the chat or just come off of mute, and let's see what ideas you guys have come up with in the last 3 or 4 minutes that I've been talking.
Can I get a clarification on that flash sale? Can a crew member recruit a walker and get the $100 boost?
Molly? Coach Molly, yes?
Yes.
Okay, crew members can recruit a walker. The key is that it has to be a walker that's recruited, not a crew member, but yes, that makes sense. Mm-hmm.
So the recruit a walker goes through the end of the month, but the flash sale just goes through the 11th. Is that right?
That is correct.
Right on, thanks.
Yep. And Stacy, there are a couple of questions in here about like when course maps are released and that kind of stuff and route maps. So could you address how that works in the 3-day environment?
Sure. So we typically release what we call the journey map, which is a very high level kind of look at where the route will begin, end, and kind of the pit stops and cheering stations along the way. We don't release turn-by-turn directions except for to our mobile cheer stations. So those would be people that want to come out and support the walkers throughout the weekend. But we'll post starting and ending points, usually again, like about 3 weeks before the event, although in a hotel market, so New England, Chicago, or Dallas, Fort Worth, you'll already know that because of the host hotel. So it's a little different than in San Diego, where we'll have 3 different key spots. Did that answer the question, I wonder?
Yeah. Yeah, and well, I think it did. I hope the people who asked the question think that it did. We also had a question about the slumber party tents in San Diego and what the deal is with those. I'm trying to scroll up to find the exact question and I can't find it, but basically.
So we are not, slumber party tents are not part of the referral incentive for this year. It is our intention to honor that in San Diego for those who earned it in 2020. So before the world shut down, those first few months of 2020, we will be able to honor slumber party tents for those folks. But this is taking the place, this new referral program will be taking the place of that slumber party referral opportunity.
Yeah, and again, everyone in San Diego actually gets their own tent this year. So that's a change from
yes
how we did things before the world, you know, changed in 2020. So
a little more room, actually 50% more room.
Exactly.
Stacey, quick question. A few years ago, they had printed a list of matching companies, and fundraising has been tight, I know, for all of us, especially with the pandemic and people changing jobs, etc. Is that list available that we could share with team members? Because a lot of, I know I have a larger team, and myself, there's 5 family members walking. So, you know, matching is our key to getting to where we need to get to.
Right.
So is there, especially for some of the newer teams or smaller teams, I have the old list and I kind of know just because I've been around for what seems like ever. But can we get an updated list of matching companies?
So we found that the list was just changing so frequently that it was just becoming irrelevant as quickly as we could update it. So instead of the list, you now can go on the website. It's an interactive, you know, current all the time kind of thing. So you do have to search for a company name, but if you go under the donate button, you can open up the menu and click on corporate matching program.
Okay.
And then you'll find there's a search tool there, and you can just type the company name in. And it actually gives all the instructions and sort of the matching timeline and things like that. Matching gifts, you know, is such an incredible resource, but they do require extra processing time, and some of them, you know, 2 months of extra processing time. So definitely,
yeah, it's up a little bit more with COVID too. I know that's if there are any newer captains, if you look, if somebody is working, ask if somebody's giving you a donation, ask, or just go on, because a lot of people will know if their company matches. So for example, if anybody has any, I can tell you Home Depot, Disney actually is now matching up to $25,000. So if you can find somebody who works for Disney, even if it's in, you know, selling ice cream, they can match up to 25,000, which can get your team there. Boeing matches, Robert Wood Johnson's Medical Center here in the New York, New Jersey area, they actually double your match. They'll or 2 times whatever. So if you give $100, they donate $200. So don't be afraid to type on, especially if you do something that's a cash fundraiser, don't be afraid to put on your Facebook page, hey, does anyone's company do charity matching? Because it really will help your team double what you're doing very quickly, especially on larger teams or even smaller teams in areas where you don't have a lot of fundraising ability.
Right. And to be honest, it's corporate money on the table, right? And so why would we leave that there? It's always just a good idea, if nothing else, to put as a PS in your fundraising ask, like, hey, can you check and see if your company matches to the 3-day?
Yeah,
so this is where
the companies are really appreciating it. Disney actually upped theirs because they lost so much money with COVID that they actually need the tax revenue, but they need it just as much as Komen needs it, because they lost a lot of their tax benefits. So they're looking to help out other charities and help themselves financially get back on their feet. So it's not an issue. It's a win-win for everyone involved.
Stacy, this is Heather. I'm gonna just touch on two things. There was a gal the other day that was calling on a matching gift she was waiting for. Her donor worked for Granger. He donated $1,000 and it's a 3-to-1. So like that's some great money. Like it's not, it really is a game changer. But I do want to speak to something in the chat. It says, Kathleen Butler put it out there, for new team captains, we can appreciate our website has a lot of information. And if you don't know where to find it, you just kind of, wipe your hands of it and walk away. But team captains that are new, encourage your team to check out the resources online, especially the infographics. Like our staff and creative, they've really put together some really nice things for you that you can help in your fundraising. And if you can't find it, call one of your coaches. We'd be happy to send the links to you.
Yeah, exactly. We've got so much great information, and it can be, take some time to poke around and find it all, but we know where it all is. So just reach out and we'll let you know. What else have you guys
here again about that online resources? A couple years ago, I created an online scavenger hunt for my team. And I asked questions like, go and find X and tell me what color it is. And I can't remember what all I did, but for team captains, you could go create 5-10 questions, and the first person who finds it, give them $10 fundraising or whatever tchotchke they would respond to. But it was a way to at least get them on the website and make them start poking around a little bit. I think I put like a code word on my participant page, and it said like, go tell me what the last word was. I can't remember it all, but you could have some fun with it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Very, very good.
I have it's Marilyn Fuller-Smith. I have a quick question. I misread the time for this and I thought it was 9 o'clock, which I was very upset about, but here I am jumping on early and you're almost done. Was this recorded and is going to be sent out to us?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry for the interruption.
No, thank you. And I know I really appreciate all of you on the East Coast, especially Central too. I mean, it's not even dinner time here in San Diego yet. So I appreciate
Don't be bragging anymore there, girl.
I appreciate all of you hopping on so late in your day. Really do. Anybody else? No? All right. Well, thank you guys very much. Tesha, were we going to announce what the outcome of the poll?
Yeah, I'd be happy to do that. So give me 1 second. Let me get that back up for you. Probably not super surprising because this is such an engaged group. Can you see the result?
Awesome. Okay.
So I think we're doing this again.
But please don't save your ideas till then. We want to hear a lot of ideas between now and then so that we can talk about them at that meeting. All right. Send them along. Perfect. Anything else? Molly, did you want to add anything at the end?
No, just echoing what you said, that, thank you so much. You guys are such an incredible resource for the 3-day, and just even, such an inspiration to hear the ideas and the creativity that of course you guys have and put out there to your team. So please just know, when we were kind of thinking about some of the ways in which we wanted to put out support there for our participants this year, we wanted to make sure that we built in something specifically for team captains, to make sure that how valued you are, how grateful we are for you, and to just give you guys an opportunity to kind of share and feed off of each other. And so we're really grateful and excited that you would like to come together again to speak to this. So thank you, and thank you to the coaches and Stacy in particular for leading this, and for Steph and Mari for being on the call as well.
Excellent. Yes, thank you very much to our speakers, and thank you again to all of you. Have a wonderful evening, and we will get some information out to you soon about a second meeting.
Thanks everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.